Thank you very much.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor. Good to see you,
pleasure,
sir.
man.
Thank
Great
you.
to see you.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Man,
to
how
see
are you, buddy?
Oh
Great
my
to see
God,
you.
it's an honor. Thank you,
great to
sir.
see
I
you.
appreciate you. Mr. Cruz, always an honor, sir. Thank you for
Outstanding.
taking the time. It's been so incredible watching how these stunts have evolved over 30 years, and looking at that one right behind us is absolutely unbelievable. But I was there May 22nd, 1996, Beaumont, Texas. My folks took me to opening night of Mission Impossible.
You were born then.
I was.
that? You're
About 8 years old, but you know what? I had cool parents. I gotta ask. I've always wanted to ask if you don't
push
mind.
my parents and sneak into those movies.
Luckily, they love you too, so that goes a long way. I've always wanted to ask you, that original drop in Brian De Palma's original, what do you remember about shooting that sequence? How did you stay balanced? What are your memories of shooting that moment?
Shooting that scene was very interesting. I remember, first of all, figuring out the vest that we had, the whole sequence. When Brian, we talked about the sequence, and then I showed him the kind of things that I could do, and we worked on me going from the computer down there. And as I was going down, my face kept hitting the ground. And look, I don't know if you've ever tried to hold your body like that.
It's hard as hell, man.
Yeah, it's exhausting. I was getting a little tired. And I kept hitting my face. I was like, man, So I went up to the guys and I said, look, give me, in England, they have pound coins. So I was like, give me the pound coins. I put them in the tip of my shoes. And then I basically went out to just balance myself. So then I didn't go head first. And I remember, the way that Brian had designed that is guy's brilliant. Came down in and I'm above the glass and I didn't touch the glass and the light was on. And so I knew we got the shot. I'm off the computer and I'm hanging. And he just let it sit there. He let me, I was sweating. And I was like, I'm breathing, I'm sweating. And he knew we had the shot. And he just left it there. And then I could hear Brian laughing off camera. And I was like, he was laughing off camera. He said, all right, Cruz. Anyway, cut. And he just started laughing. It was a wonderful moment.
Thank you for sharing.
Get it. Yeah, it was lovely.
Thank you for sharing
He's a
that.
brilliant filmmaker.
Now, I want to flash forward to this sequence right behind me, because something that I feel like you don't get enough credit for is, in that moment, you are Ethan Hunt. You're an actor. But when you're up there, you're on your own. You basically have to be the director. You have to be the cinematographer. You have to think about where you are in the frame. Can you sort of walk me through the different decisions you have to make when you're up in the air, not just as an actor, but from a filmmaking perspective as well?
Look, always when you're doing these things, because I fly airplanes, I fly aerobatics, I fly jets, I fly, helicopters. When you see the framing of things, we set the camera, but I'm framing it. Now, you have to understand, I'm a pilot, I'm on the wing, so I have to be aware of the molecules going over the wing, watching to make sure that the aircraft, that it doesn't stall. I have worked with the pilots to educate them in terms of what I need when I'm on the wing. We're working together because the pilot's flying me. I have to be aware, because we're in dangerous situations, whether we're low or high. You don't want that airplane to get into a stall. So I have to be aware of that. I have to be aware of performance. I know the maneuvers, and we're developing the maneuvers in order to get me into different spaces on the wing. And when your audience sees it, you'll see what I'm talking about. So also, when you're doing it, you have to be aware of where the helicopter is, performance, lighting. Sometimes when I'm flying the airplane, I'm actually even handling the focus. I'm flying the airplane and I'm throwing focus and working it back and forth. So all of those, you just have to have performance what I'm doing, and then have the spatial awareness of where that camera is, what story we're telling, and then have enough energy to be able to do it.
And you did do it. Really quick, you've worked with the greatest directors of all time, more than any other actor, I think, working today. What's the greatest piece of direction you've ever been given in your life?
That's a very hard thing to say. I mean, it depends on, the stuff that we've worked on. I'm very grateful to be able to work with McHugh and all the directors that I've worked with. I love that collaboration, and I've had some tremendous experiences with really people that are very passionate about their craft, and I've enjoyed every moment of it.
We've enjoyed it, sir. I want you to know, 20 years ago, you took a shot on a kid reporter who had no business interviewing you, and I've been along the ride ever since. I just want you to know, sir, I love you and I appreciate you, and it's an honor, sir. Thank you very much.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor. Good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Rocky Mountain. Where we're going, we don't need roads.